Hey guys, Break here, and today I've got an interesting story. I want to talk to you guys about how I managed to buy a legendary for just 1 copper, one of the crafted legendaries, and then wanted to talk a little bit about ethics in terms of sniping and the conversation I had with the person that I bought it off and what ended up happening. So for those of you who don't know what sniping is, you probably should do, but if you don't, it's just something that you can do with Trade Skill Master, TSM, the add-on. You can just set it up. I've done many videos on how to snipe, so look up a sniping video if you really want to know. But you can just set it up and then snipe, and what it does is it scans the auction house for the latest sort of posts that the people have posted up there. And if anything's really cheap, depending on what you've set it to, it will pop up. So if someone posts something really cheap, you can quickly buy it before anyone else. For those of you who follow me on Twitter, I do quite a lot of sniping, and I've found some pretty good stuff recently. For example, the last time I was sniping, I got a Samed's Vision Ring 840 101 BOE with a socket for 4k. It's worth about 50k at least, so that was a pretty good deal. Someone's just posted something else. Oh, it's one of those coins again that you could get from farming. They're not really worth much anymore. Anyway, just after the Samed's Vision Ring, I found a legendary. One of the crafted legendaries, Vigilance Perch. It was on there for 1 copper, the lowest amount obviously that you can post something, and that was kind of crazy. Luckily I was pretty quick, managed to buy it and then sold it that same day for 61k, so that's 61k profit obviously, and that's about the going price of them on my server. I did tweet about it. I tweet about all of my crazy snipes, so follow me on Twitter for that, but yeah, a lot of people were jealous on Twitter of my snipe. I mean, it'd be pretty cool, especially if you were starting, say, a gold cap challenge on a different server and you only had a few coppers and then suddenly this came up. That'd be a pretty crazy way to kickstart your gold making. Now, this was interesting because the reasons you usually get snipes, either someone doesn't know the value of an item, so they just randomly put it on for 10k when it's worth 100k, or people just miss out a 0, so they meant to put it on for 100k, but then they put it on for 10k. Or sometimes they're posting with TSM and TSM messes up. That happens a lot at the moment, particularly because the API is down, so there can be some weirdly priced items. However, none of that happened. As I found out from an in-game mail I received the next day, this was put on the auction house because someone on the Horde side wanted to give something to a friend on the Alliance side, and obviously you can't trade between that, but what you can do is have the auction house, which is cross-faction for those of you who didn't know. So they put it up on the auction house and the other person was waiting at the auction house ready to buy it out really quick. However, this person probably didn't know about snipers, so the second it was put up, it's obviously going to get bought, especially if you're on a reasonably populated server. So that's what happened, and yeah, a lesson for you guys. If you want to transfer from Horde to Alliance, it's pretty tough to do, and I really wouldn't try and do it, especially putting something up for 1 copper. It's just going to get bought out instantly by snipers, and it's going to be very tough for you. Anyway, that is my sniping story. Thought it was kind of interesting. I've never got something for 1 copper. I've sold stuff for more before. I've had better profits from sniping before, but I've never been able to buy something for actually 1 copper and resold it for a decent amount, so that was pretty cool. However, I also want to talk about the ethics of sniping. Now, this is a big debate in the gold making community. A lot of people have differing views on it. So what if someone makes a mistake, they put something up, forget a 0, or what if TSM makes a mistake, posts it really low, or what if they are trying to transfer something from Horde to Alliance and you buy it before their friend can? What do you do? Because I got an in-game mail from the person who was trying to transfer it. As I said, I got it just the day after. I'd already sold the item, but obviously I had the gold, and they sent, it was quite a nice mail, and they said that they would please like the item back. I was slightly suspicious because they did say it was for their daughter, so they wanted to get it for their daughter who was playing on Alliance and they were on Horde. I don't know, it just sounded a bit suspicious, trying to make me feel bad. It probably wasn't their daughter, to be honest, but it could have been. I've got no idea. Either way, it was quite a nice message asking for it back. But I wanted to ask, what would you guys do? Would you give it back? Would you keep it? Because let's be honest, it's fair. Once it's on the auction house, it's fair game. That's what everyone feels like pretty much. He puts it on the auction house, someone buys it. You're not going to get told off by Blizzard, for example. You're not going to get banned or anything for doing it. It's fair, and Blizzard aren't going to do anything. It's more of a moral thing, and would you give the item back if they ask nicely? In terms of how I feel about it, personally, if they do send me a mail asking very nicely that they made a mistake, then I'll usually give it back to them. Why is this? Well, I have many millions of gold spread out across many characters, and I've got many items that I bought for many millions of gold, and gold isn't such a major thing for me. Obviously I love making gold, but it's probably a bigger deal to the person who's mailing me asking about it than it is for me. And so for that reason I'm like, I don't want to ruin someone's day. I like to be nice when I can, and I prefer to give it back. But would I begrudge anyone for not giving it back? No, not at all. I'm pretty sure I've sniped things before and not giving them back. Obviously, if no one mails you about it, which most of the time people don't message you, and most of the time you're going to be fine because people understand it's on the auction house, it's fair game, you bought it, it's yours. And it is yours, and would I tell you guys to give something back if someone asks for it? I'd tell you it's completely up to you really. You don't have to at all, there's nothing wrong with it, but it just depends on what you're feeling like, I guess. But at the end of the day, guys, we are gold makers and we do like to make gold. So I'll tell you what exactly happened in this situation, and to be fair, this is what usually happens. So the person messaged me asking for it back, a nice message. If it was a rude message, I'd never give it back, but because it was nice, I then told them that I'd sold it, because I had, so I just sold it for 60k, sorry. They said, okay, thanks for telling me, please could you send me half the gold and you can keep the rest. And you'd be very surprised at how often this happened, guys. People don't expect you to give the item back, to be honest. You know, we're living in the world that we live in, and people don't expect to get things back for free. So they'll often say, okay, you can keep half and give me half just because I made the mistake, but for being nice, you get to keep half. So a lot of the time people do say that, and I mean, you can look at it like, hey, I'm still losing half. Surely it's me being nice, not you. Or you can look at it as, hey, I was going to give it all back, you're only making me give half of it back, so you're being nice. Either way, it's kind of a good ending for both people. For me, I don't feel bad like I ruined someone's day, or I ruined their weeks of gold making, potentially if they're new to gold making, they don't have much. I don't feel like I've ruined that, but I also do get some gold for my sniping, you know, so I kept 30k, I traded them back 30k, and I think both parties were happy. They just sent me another mail just now saying, thanks a lot, thanks for being honest, and that was it. Good relationship and a good sort of messaging between each other, it was all good. But that's about it for this video, guys. I just wanted to show you my experience and my pretty awesome snipe. Like I say, you can follow me on Twitter, BregVids, if you want to see more of my cool snipes and other stuff. And I just wanted to ask you guys, what would you do if you snipe something awesome, make a really tasty profit from it, but then the person says it was a mistake or says they were trying to transfer from Horde to Alliance? What would you do in that situation? Let me know. Thanks for watching, and until next time, see ya.